He's gonna be like Josie Hollins, and the two of you just give like a look to each other, like what he knows her, like that's it. Like genuinely, I just need the look. So turn towards them.
How I got into film is kind of a long, crazy journey. I mean, it started with, I think for a lot of people, my parents showing me films growing up, some of the stuff that they liked. My dad especially had a big habit of watching the same movies all the time, so I got to really fall in love with a lot of his favorites. Things like Rocky, or even one of his favorites he just showed me the other week was Wall Street. And I've really, over the course of time, watched so much with my parents. We used to have family movie nights all the time, and it really became a big passion for me. So over time, I went to things like, in high school, we had a film project that we were working on. And so everybody in the school, you got to study different things like cinematography or art and design or music, but it was all centered around the same 3 films. Things like, it was Goodfellas, Do the Right Thing, and West Side Story. And so I got to really get down and study some of these classics that I never really had watched before and see them from a new perspective of filmmaking.
Victor entering party, take 1, and action.
11:59 is the title of the upcoming film that you're shooting and I'm directing. And so 11:59 kind of came from this birthplace of, I already talked about it before, which is why I'll mention it again, The Big Lebowski. I watched it one night and I was like, man, I love detective movies. I love these really wacky offbeat comedies. I would love to make something in a similar vein. Not the exact same thing. We're not going to, retread old ground here, but I wanted to try something, in a similar style, similar genre. And so Victor texts me one day, and after I told him this, and goes, I think I got the idea. So he comes to me with this script of, I'll go into a basic plot, I guess, a little bit, of a student who's working on a group project, and his group project partner did none of the work, and suddenly, it's the night the project is due, all right? And he's got to go find this guy now. He's running all over Boston, all over the northeastern general area. I've decided I don't think it's going to actually take place at Northeastern. It's our own fictional Boston sort of setting. But he's running all over the area that we're shooting in and searching for this guy. So yeah, no, it really calls into question what a student's abilities are and how people sort of view them just based on what their grades are and what they're still willing to accomplish, even though they may not have the best grades. So 11:59 has been a much more ambitious production, I think, in all aspects, because For a Few Moments was centered in one location and had 3 actors. Now we're dealing with one main actor in, locations all over Boston. We're talking houses, apartments, classrooms, train stations, basically new locations constantly throughout the film. We really try to keep that kinetic energy going. It's also a comedy as opposed to the much more of a downer that is For a Few Moments. I've already had people tell me that they started watching For a Few Moments and had to stop because they physically weren't capable of watching it. They didn't know where it was going to go and they weren't comfortable. And I was like, I really like that idea that some people were a little bit uncomfortable by that, especially since it was such a personal film for me. But 11:59 is a lot more enjoyable. Watching actors improvising lines, improvising ideas, telling jokes, making things funnier for the camera, making things funnier for the people watching. It really just has breathed so much life and really given me more of an ambition to try new things, especially with having a crew full of people equally as excited as I am. I'm much more willing to throw something out and, especially to you, say, hey, why don't we try something absolutely bonkers crazy and see if we can make it work. And if we can't make it work, we adjust it a little bit, and then we have something that sort of encapsulates this crazy idea that is 11:59. And I'm really excited for people to go to be able to see it soon. By soon, I probably mean end of the year, but soon.